Hello friends, the time has come to decorate for autumn. The very first thing I like to do when I start decorating is to change the bedding according to the season. In summer, I usually stick to plain white, but for autumn and winter, I have some specific bed sets that I like to use. For the beginning of autumn, I have this beautiful burnt orange set. It is that kind of color that is more earthy and neutral, so it goes well with basically everything. Moving on to the living room, my goal is to make it a little more cozy. Bring in some autumn decor. I don't have much, so I'm going to just work with what I have. First, I want to swap up the pillows for these soft ones, and I also found this super cute blanket at TK Maxx. It is very soft and it has this beautiful pattern with acorns on it. I also want to decorate the TV stand with this leaves garland, but being realistic, I think it's only a matter of time until the cats find it and drag it down. The inside shelf I'll decorate with some autumnal books. I think most books that I own are autumnal. Somehow I mostly gravitate towards reading during autumn and winter. Here are some books that are perfect to read during autumn. Cackle by Rachel Harrison. This is a witchy book and I loved it so much. It has the small town magical vibes, warm and cozy, while at the same time there is an ongoing unsettling feeling about it. It is a story about a young woman who is overcoming her insecurities with the help of a new friend coming into her life that might or might not be a witch. Coraline by Neil Gaiman. This is a middle grade book. If you think middle grade books can't be scary, please read Coraline. And yes, there is a movie. I haven't seen it yet, but I read some of the comments and they all say that the movie is not nearly as scary as the book. Next one is a classic murder mystery, And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. This is one of those books that I wish I could read again for the first time. The plot is so intriguing and it keeps you wondering until the very end who the murderer is. A classic here, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, a great spooky read, and I'm sure everyone knows the story, but it's still such a good book and it's quite short, so if you don't want to commit to a long story, this is a very good one. And one of my all-time favorite books is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. If you haven't read this book, please give it a chance. It is the perfect horror story for autumn, but it's also a story that touches a lot on ethics, morality, and philosophy. It is really the kind of book that makes you think and wonder. The book that I'm reading right now is this one. It's called The Secret History by Donna Tartt. This is a dark academia book, and I picked this one up because of another book that I recently read. It's called If We Were Villains by Alan Reel. And this one is a lot heavier than this. I just started it. I'm barely through the first chapter, but I really like this one as well. They are very, very similar in plot. So if you like dark academia books, I highly recommend them. They're very enjoyable. And of course, dark academia is a genre that is very good for autumn as well. I need to tell you about these books. They are the Mina Lima pop-up edition of Harry Potter, and I have the first two. The third one is coming out this October. These are the most beautiful books I've ever seen. The artwork is just unbelievable. It has this pop-up elements like this one where you pull out the mandrake root, or this one where Harry goes to Diagon Alley. They are very dear to me, and I think any Harry Potter fan would love them. And now the most exciting part of the decorating, which is going to be hanging these floating candles. So I did this last year, but then I hung them kind of in front of the couch, and this year I want to hang them above the table so that when we have a Harry Potter themed party, we can imagine that we're sitting at one of the house tables in the Great Hall.